Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to the Wii version of Pikmin on day 9. We are touching down in the distant spring one last time, because we have almost accomplished our goal of getting all of the ship parts in only 10 days. But that means we have to get the rest of the ship parts in the distant spring today. That's 4 ship parts that need acquiring, and while that seems like kind of a daunting task, as it usually is, today's actually not going to be too bad. There is going to be some leeway we have to work with that we didn't have on, say, day 2 or day 3. And it helps that we did actually manage to at least partly knock down that one black bomb rock gate right next to camp, because we need to knock it down the rest of the way today if we're going to get our ship parts back in a timely fashion. So we just need a couple of bomb rocks, and then that will be all taken care of and done. It's just barely holding on there. Of course, we also need to take care of some quite obnoxious puffy blowhog nonsense, which, since they constantly hang around water, is a little dangerous for our yellow Pikmin. Yellow Pikmin do have definitely have an easier time just reaching and getting to the puffy blowhog, obviously, because they do have that extra height they can work with. But since the puffy blowhogs all hang around water, it is actually quite difficult to prevent your non-blue Pikmin from falling into water and drowning. It's a little on the annoying side, just a little bit. For example, that guy over there is surrounded by a lot of water, and if we tried to fight him with yellows, it probably wouldn't end well. But we'll just have to take care of him as best we can. I find fighting the puffy blowhogs just generally a lot easier in the Wii version of the game. Yeah, that was relatively painless, wasn't it? Got both of them down in pretty quick time. Just because Olimar has his extra reach he can work with. And the extra reach comes into play a lot on this day, actually. With this part in particular that we're trying to get, we need to use the Candy Pop Bud up on that up top there to change our blue Pikmin into yellow Pikmin so they have enough height to work with in order to reach a particular ship part. In the GameCube version, though, you're expected to throw Pikmin back and forth quite a distance, and Olimar just has barely enough reach in order to accomplish that goal. In the Wii version of the game, you do not have that problem at all. You have extra throwing range, and everything is hunky-dory and happy, and you can get things done in relatively quick fashion. It really is amazing what a difference a little extra range can make. I found the number 2 Ionium Jet. It's easy on the eyes, and its fuel efficiency is easy on the budget. Very good, Olimar, very good. Yes. This is the only ship part over here, in the corner here, that really is going to take a lot of effort in order to get. The other 3 ship parts, they're just relatively simple to acquire, and they don't take a heck of a lot of effort, and it's all good. And we have to do some converting here to get our blue Pikmin to transform into yellow Pikmin. And then we're gonna have to convert them back in order to actually get that ship part back to camp. And here's really the part that, in the GameCube version, you have a lot of trouble. Just trying to throw them to shore takes a lot of precise maneuvering. But in the Wii version, that's no problem. There's no issue whatsoever. It's actually kind of interesting. Number 2, Ionium Jet. The ads for this jet boast that with excellent mileage that's easy on the family budget, this jet will keep your wife smiling and propel you to a happy home life. I have now recovered 26 of 30 parts. If I can find just 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Yeah, it really is just fascinating how one small change like that can make a world of difference in how a game is performed and how you accomplish certain tasks. Speaking of accomplishing tasks, we found the Kronos Reactor. Using strange new technology, this machine is able to warp the space-time continuum and turn it into energy. I am constantly amazed on how many mysteries are locked inside the parts of my ship. Indeed. But now, we need to separate our Pikmin back out and try to prevent the yellows from picking it back up, which is not going particularly well. We need to swap roles here and get the blues to carry this back through the water, because, obviously, the yellows will drown if they try to do that. And we need to use the blue Candy Pop Bud to turn the yellows back into, blue guys. It's, this is really one of the only parts in the game that requires sort of this... Well, that's not true. I suppose in the Forest Naval, getting the Libra required a lot of extensive thinking in how you need to go about getting it, because you needed to manage all 3 Pikmin types in order to do that. This is another one of those parts, though, the Kronos Reactor. It just takes a little extra effort, and I'm kind of surprised more parts don't require a little more creative problem solving. Apparently we missed a yellow guy, who is now drowning. I'm not sure how that happened, honestly, because we should have had 20 yellows, and the Candy Pop Bud takes 10 at a time, so it should have automatically converted all of the blue guys back into yellow guys. So I don't really know how I ended up with an extra yellow there. I'm a bit confused. Unless somehow that yellow just followed us all the way through the water somehow from our group earlier, which I don't think he could have. But you never know. The Kronos Reactor. This reactor changes the permutations in the space-time continuum into pure energy. Basically, it's like a big rubber band. I have now recovered 27 of 30 parts. If I can find just 2 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. But that ends up taking care of the 2 parts that are honestly the farthest away from camp and sort of the most difficult to acquire during the day. The last 2 parts are right next door to where the dolphin is landed. Up here we've got this 3D maze that we kind of need to navigate and maneuver our Pikmin around. And that will let us acquire the part up top there. This is another interesting one. It's not really a puzzle. It's just more of a thinking in 3 dimensions and trying to navigate around this area successfully. And you do have to be careful with how you, like, manage your Pikmin here, because this is a light ship part. It doesn't require a lot to pick up, but if you're not careful, you can end up sort of knocking your Pikmin off, and it can lose your ability to grab it. You found the UV lamp, by the way. The only problem with this handheld light is that it is too bright at times. I have to remember to wear my sun visor whenever I look at it. But yeah, one of the biggest issues with Pikmin in general is just the amount of space a full squadron of Pikmin takes up. So if you have to navigate tight areas, it can be problematic because Pikmin do like to fall off. We have seen it several times before, trying to lead a group of Pikmin up a bridge and bridges and things like that. But especially for some parts in the distant spring, you really have to manage how many Pikmin you're throwing around carefully. The UV lamp. This handy light is great for tanning, but it doesn't seem to have any relation to the dolphin's flight capabilities. I doubt that it will affect my escape from this planet. Perhaps there are other parts like this as well. I have now recovered 28 of 30 parts. If I can find just one more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. And yes, the UV lamp is one of the optional parts. It's really the only optional part that actually spells out for you that it's an optional part. The others do not really give you any kind of details on that. But, you know, we're going for all 30 parts anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. And speaking of parts, this here Armored Cannon Beetle is in possession of the last one. We just need to wait for him to cooperate and turn around in order to actually get it. And one more round of this, and we should be good though. There we are. I've discovered the bowsprit. With this piece installed, my ship will regain some of its sleek shape. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And that, ladies and gents, is the last part of the dolphin that we will be finding in the distant spring. We actually have a lot of time left. More time than I honestly expected to have left. But it does give us an opportunity towards the end of the day to just sort of manage our Pikmin and maybe collect some pellets and grow some flower Pikmin that we're going to need. Because, no, what else are you going to do with a quarter of a day left? At this point, I'm just kind of making sure that everyone's in place and we can sort of arrange Pikmin and get our Pikmin powered up, because the last area on day 10 is going to require a lot of Pikmin power, I guess. We are going to need flower Pikmin in order to make sure things move quickly, and we're going to just generally want to be in the best scenario possible. Speaking of good scenarios, though, there we go. The top of the dolphin is complete. The bowsprit, the so-called face of the dolphin. In point of fact, I designed it. I have recovered 29 of 30 parts, increasing the dolphin's capabilities. My search can now cover a wider area. And thus, the dolphin is almost complete. We have one ship part left to get, and we have one last area now that we need to explore. Very, very nice indeed. It's going to be rather important that we are prepared as much as we possibly can be for what is literally called the final trial. We are going to need to grow some flowers. Maybe we need some extra Pikmin. But honestly, we're in kind of decent shape right now. We got a lot of flower guys. I'm sort of counting out already at this point, like, how many Pikmin I'm going to need in particular tasks on the last day. And, yeah. The rest of the day is just gonna be hanging out and picking grass and beating up rocks and getting nectar out and, things like that. Not honestly much else to say at this point. I really didn't expect to, like, actually get things done as quickly as I did. It was one of those scenarios where I was walking into it, like, oh, there's 4 parts left, that's gonna be a pretty tight timing. But both on the Wii version and the GameCube version of these days. It's, didn't end up being too terrible, honestly. And, might as well give some Reds some love. Having the higher attack power of the red Pikmin on the last day is also going to come, very much in handy. And, we're just gonna need to make sure they're as fast as they are strong. So we need them to drink up the delicious nectar, and we can take care of that, no problem. We're not going to really need a full squad of 100 Reds on the last day by any means. The last day is going to require the efforts of all 3 Pikmin types, though. And, just generally, we'll just want to make sure we're prepared. Because the last day is going to be a bit of a task. Even though it doesn't seem like it would be at first glance, since there's only 1 ship part left. Looks it can be a bit deceiving, honestly. We just need to, at this point, wind down the day. The final 10 count of the distant spring has started. The final day we're going to be spending in sort of the main 3 areas of the game. We end things rather calmly. Full squad of 100 red guys palling around with us. And it's all good. The countdown hits 0. And that's it for day 9. And that's it for basically the majority of the game. With only 1 task left, we just need to finish things off on day 10. Pikmin go back to their onions. Olimar takes off into the atmosphere. And the Shearwigs and Sheargrubs go hungry. 9 days since impact. At last, but a single part remains. Since I've recovered 29 of the missing parts, the Dolphin's power is near capacity. In the forest depths below, I see a region where the final part must lie. Clearly, this is my final trial. My life support fails in 21 days. Courage. And we get to see the Pikmin totals for today, with a little bit of a rise and dip where we were swapping Pikmin colors around. We did not grow any Pikmin, but we lost 5 in battle, and thankfully, we did not leave any behind after sunset, which basically means we're in the clear for that. We did not end up leaving anybody behind during the adventure during sunset. So, yay? That's very good. That's always a very good thing. It always bothers me when I miss a couple Pikmin and they end up behind. And getting eaten. It's always just not fun. But anyway, that's going to call it for right now. Thank you very much for watching. This is your good friend Sparky signing off for now. I'll catch you later.